Hi, I'm Tom Isaacs from PRD Nationwide in Bendigo, and welcome to our February market update. In today's edition, we'll be speaking to Adrian Basil from Basil & Co Solicitors to get some great tips on purchasing. We'll be looking at the house and land sales performance across Bendigo, as well as looking at the rental market. And finally, we'll have a look at the Bendigo fact sheet for the first 6 months. With us today, we have Adrian Basil from Basil & Co Solicitors. Adrian, thanks for joining us.
No worries, good to be here, Tom.
Adrian, can you take us through the process that a solicitor or conveyancer plays in the purchase or sale of a property?
Yeah, sure can, Tom. Look, Basil & Co, just for information, has been around now for the last 40 years, servicing clients throughout Victoria. It's now a father-son business, with my father sort of having in excess of 40 years as a solicitor of Basil & Co. Basically, we're there to assist clients who are in the process of buying or selling properties. So, clients will come to us if they're preparing to sell a property. They'll sometimes want us to prepare a vendor statement which provides information about the property they're selling, which provides potential purchasers a bit of information and background details about the property, the land, who owns it, what encumbrances on the property, if there's any mortgages, any covenants, just details about the property reports, all good information to give the potential purchasers the background and the information to make an educated choice in selecting the right property for them.
And look, often we have questions around a conveyancer or solicitor's role, and with the Section 32, it's a really important part of the process, but you guide them from start to finish in terms of that purchase or sale, don't you?
Absolutely. Look, from even before they even put the property on the market, it doesn't hurt for them to come and talk to their local solicitor or conveyancer to understand what's involved in the process. At that point in time, we've got a list of questions that we like to ask particularly about the property, in terms of what services are connected, if there have been any building permits issued in the last 7 years, and it leaves us a bit of time to go away and do the searches that we need to prepare the information and put it all together in a nice little package called a Section 32 or a vendor statement, and that will actually form part of the contract once the property's sold. So, once the agent sells the property, negotiate the terms, they'll come to us with the sales particulars, and we'll then enter those sales particulars into the contract. Any special conditions. Special conditions probably very important. A lot of purchasers really want to take out a building or pest inspection report, and that's really for the purchasers that understand more about the property. So it never hurts for them to go away and get a qualified builder or a qualified pest inspector to come in and have a look at it. Especially around Bendigo, there might be areas that have termites. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to proceed with the purchase, but it just lets them know that, there are some termites in the area, so you may want to consider taking action against that now and in the future.
Often we see in contracts it can be subject to finance, for instance, or a building inspection, or as you said, a pest inspection. Those three things being very common. Can you explain to us what they are?
Yeah, so look, probably 90% of contracts, even higher, 95% will certainly be most likely subject to finance. Yeah. So basically, subject to finance, purchasers basically happy to enter into a contract to purchase the land, subject to their bank giving them an unconditional approval. Okay, it gives them a little bit of protection in the case that for any reason the bank doesn't approve it, the purchasers can actually say, well, we can't proceed with the contract, and are actually entitled to receive their full deposit back. So a little bit of protection, but at the same time it allows them to enter into a contract to purchase their dream property with the agent.
And often in the industry we talk with lingo, conditional and unconditional and all these sorts of things. A lot of people out there don't have a clear understanding of what a conditional or an unconditional contract is. Can you run us through that?
Yeah. So basically, if someone says they're entering into an unconditional contract, effectively they're saying, I'm buying this property no matter what. So they'll sign the contract, the vendor signs the contract, still got a 3-day cooling off period, but after that period, effectively that property is sold and they are contracted to proceed to settlement and buy that property. So that's pretty much an unconditional contract to sale. A conditional contract to sale will have conditions such as subject to your building inspection report, subject to a pest inspection report, or the most common is subject to your finance clause. A lot of purchasers sometimes will add a condition if they're selling their house to buy another house. They might even put a condition there that says, look, we'll buy your house, but subject to and conditional upon the sale of our property.
Yes. Okay. So often, would you recommend purchasers or vendors approach you prior to going to either look to sell their home or look to purchase? Or do you think it's a process they can start prior and then come to you?
Look, it's all about information finding. It's never going to hurt to go and get information before even thinking about taking the step and selling your property or buying your property. There's a lot of things to take into consideration, especially when buying. What are your eligibilities in terms of concessions? The State Revenue Office is constantly updating rebates and concessions which are applicable to certain people, so it's good to have a discussion with someone about that, so you've got a good idea what you're entitled to. At the moment, if you're buying a first home and it's a brand new house, the purchaser are entitled to a $10,000 first homeowner grant. If it's an existing house on the property, then at the moment the purchaser are entitled to a 50% rebate on the stamp duty payable.
Which is a big sum of money.
Which is a big savings for a lot of properties out there on the market.
And often missed too. I think a lot of people don't realise there are these rebates available.
Yeah, and another rebate, probably one of the other biggest rebates that some people don't realise they're eligible for, if they've got any sort of eligible concession card, healthcare card or pensioner card, they can actually receive up to $330,000 is the threshold for free stamp duty.
Yeah, which is a massive savings. So you're talking up to $10,000-$12,000 in stamp
savings,
duty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big savings.
Thanks very much for joining us today, Adrian. There's some terrific information from Adrian Basil from Basil & Co. If you'd like to contact Adrian at all, his number's on the screen. Early February 2016 has seen a real revival of the property management market and rental market in Bendigo, with 2 and 3 applications on every property coming back through, giving a lot of confidence back to investors as well as we see them swell back to Bendigo. An article in the Bendigo Advertiser on Monday the 15th spoke about how we've seen some interest come from external parties in terms of capital cities through Perth, Adelaide, and even as far north as Darwin, from property investors seeing Bendigo as a terrific location to invest into. The article did speak about how this keeps rental prices affordable for people and creates a fairly strong economy right through Bendigo. We've seen through that a number of properties letting a lot faster, so days on market have been reduced. And again, having more and more people go through the properties means that our vendors are actually seeing far greater prices on their property as well. So all in all, it looks like we're heading into a great 6 months for the rental market. So PRD Nationwide stands for Property Research and Development, and as a part of the business, we have an opportunity to work closely with our research team based out of Queensland. It gives us a capacity to get live data about property research and actually understand exactly what's happening in the market today, rather than being 30 days in arrears. As a part of this, every 6 months, a property fact sheet is prepared for Bendigo, and it covers all the topical subjects that we speak about with the rental market, what properties are doing in terms of growth, and how we're seeing the forecast in the market as well. So it's a terrific tool available every 6 months, as well as we do have a quarterly report available for suburbs. So it can be a great tool, and if anyone would like a copy, feel free to contact us. Thanks for watching the February market update. I hope you got some fantastic tips, and if you need any information, please feel free to contact us.